Gotta get something. Oh, the birthday boy. No. No. Happy birthday to you. It's a party in Philly as the Eagles defense dominates Super Bowl 59. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Johnny Gaz. Thank you for returning for another video. Man, was I completely wrong. The Eagles completely dominate Super Bowl 59 from start to finish, using their front four defensively, a stellar performance by their quarterback, and they were even able to get this done on a slow day by their MVP candidate running back, Saquon Barkley. I cannot believe what we saw here at Super Bowl 59. What an amazing game for the Philadelphia Eagles. You cannot say enough about this Vic Fangio defense. They completely held down everything about the Chiefs offense. And this was only through their front four, their defensive line. They did not blitz for basically the entire first three quarters of this football game. They held the Kansas City Chiefs to no points in the first half. And outside of a few garbage time touchdowns, the defense really led the charge for the Philadelphia Eagles, ultimately leading them to victory 40-22 in Super Bowl 59.
It's a huge play. Now the Eagles get it back. We're going to run some clock, or maybe throw the dagger. Hurts going deep for it all. Devontae Smith. He has got it. Touchdown.
In a Super Bowl where the Chiefs actually held down Saquon Barkley and the Eagles rushing game, Jalen Hurts was just fantastic, winning Super Bowl 59 MVP. He went 17 of 22 for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's a 119 rating, but he also led the team in rushing. He led them with 11 carries, 72 yards on the ground, and had the tush-push touchdown. He was poised. He was confident the entire time. He was able to escape the pocket when necessary and made the plays when he had to on a day where the Chiefs obviously had the game plan to stop Saquon Barkley. That was taken away from the Eagles offense, and Jalen Hurts was able to make plays down the field with his wide receivers, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dotson, other players, was really able to get it done. But he is your Super Bowl 59 MVP. Jalen Hurts, what a performance. Let's get into these team stats from Super Bowl 59, and this was really a game about defense and possession. The Eagles just took control of this game from start to finish. They were able to get the Kansas City Chiefs offense off the field, and then when they did, they were able to maintain possession. They didn't turn the ball over. They just did so many good things here to take the three-peat away from the Chiefs here in Super Bowl 59. You see first downs, 21 to the Chiefs' 12. Third down efficiencies, both teams, not fantastic. 3 for 11 for the Chiefs, 3 for 12 for the Eagles. Obviously, you see the total plays. That's where the discrepancy comes in. We'll see the actual time of possession here in a minute. But the Eagles just dominated, and with that more possession came additional yardage. 345 for the Eagles to 275 for the Chiefs. They both had the equal amount of drives. You see the yards per play, the passing, and I think, again, that comes down to Patrick Mahomes throwing some big-time yardage at the end of this game, which really didn't mean much towards the end, as the Eagles were just kind of in garbage time mode at that point. They still led in rushing, as you see here, 135 to the Chiefs 49, and that's even with a very low performance by Saquon Barkley. Again, the Chiefs just did everything possible to take that away. You could tell in that defensive game plan from Spags. Penalties, pretty even, 7 for the Chiefs, 8 for the Eagles. It opened up with that very off-putting offensive pass interference penalty on A.J. Brown. It kind of set a weird tone for this game, but obviously that flipped on its head from that point forward. Then you see the turnovers. Chiefs 3, the 2 big interceptions, and that was the flipping point of this game. The Cooper Jazeen pick 6 was really, I thought, the point where this game just flipped completely in the Eagles' favor, and that was really it from that point on. And then you see ultimately the possession, and that was the killer there. The Eagles just controlled the possession. The front four for the Eagles defense was amazing in this game. They held down everything that the Chiefs put out there. Patrick Mahomes, they were able to get sacks, contain him. Travis Kelce was held in check. Any weapon that the Chiefs had held in check really till the end when Worthy exploded with the 2 touchdowns. But outside of that, I mean, the Eagles were just about perfect on defense. They played the perfect first half, led 24-0 at halftime, and really at that point, that game was over. Outside of thinking there may have been some Chiefs magic, that was pretty much it. Again, Eagles take this one home 40-22. Let's also buzz through the box score for Super Bowl 59. I think this was an uncharacteristic performance by Patrick Mahomes, but you have to solely give credit to the Philadelphia Eagles front four. Everybody involved there, the defensive game plan by Vic Fangio, they just were able to get Patrick Mahomes off his comfort zone. And when you're able to get him on the ground, and obviously, you know, going into this, you knew the referees weren't going to just give ticky-tack, touchy fouls on Patrick Mahomes because of everything leading up to it. So that was really taken out of, I think, the thought process, and the Eagles were able to do everything they wanted to do with just a front four without blitzing. So Patrick Mahomes goes 21 of 32, 257, 3 TDs, 2 interceptions. Those are kind of inflated numbers, I would say, because at the end you have 2 touchdowns to Worthy. You know, you can argue whether or not, but again, you know, ends up a decent day when all's said and done. But those 2 interceptions were really the game changers, and we talked about that in detail. Compared to Jalen Hurts, who was your Super Bowl 59 MVP, so poised, 17 of 22, 221, 2 scores. He had the interception, was sacked twice, compared to Patrick Mahomes, who was sacked 6 times in this contest. Just incredible. Looking at the rushing attack, Patrick Mahomes also had to get it going with his legs like he usually does in the playoffs with the Chiefs. 4 rushes for 25 yards, but they didn't get anything else as far as a rushing attack. Kareem Hunt, 3 rushes, 9 carries. Isaiah Pacheco, non-existent, 3 rushes, 7 yards. Overall, only 49 yards on the ground for the Chiefs. On the other side, Philadelphia didn't get it going either. And again, the Chiefs' game plan had to be take away Saquon, who ended up with 25 carries. You can't blame him for those many attempts. 57 yards, though, only on those 25 carries. That's incredible. Only had a 10-yard long. So you have to give the Chiefs and the Spagnuolo defense credit. They gave nothing to Saquon and really anything rushing. So Jalen Hurts had to get it going himself. Had the 11 rushes, 72 yards. Had the touchdown on the tush push to open the scoring there, and had a 17-yard long in the day. Again, he was your MVP here, Super Bowl 59, and he had to make plays and came up huge for the Eagles. Now getting into the receiving stats, kind of the inflated numbers there you see on the Chiefs side for Xavier Worthy, and I don't blame him for that. He made fantastic plays towards the end of the game. The big bomb play at the end was a great catch on a great pass by Patrick Mahomes. 8 receptions total, 157, 2 touchdowns. That's a big day in the Super Bowl there. Of course, had the 50-yard long. Travis Kelce, just not much. 4 receptions, 39 yards. Didn't get in the end zone. DeAndre Hopkins got it going there a little bit, but had the drop early. 2 receptions, 18 yards in the score. Juju, 2 receptions, 16 yards. Hollywood with 2 and 15. On the Eagles side, Devonta Smith, 4 receptions, 69, and the touchdown with a 46-yard long. A.J. Brown came up big as well. 3 receptions, 43 yards, also the touchdown. So those 2 guys really shine through here in a day where you had to have it when the rushing game for the Eagles wasn't there. And moving down to the defense, you just can't say enough about what the Eagles did up front in total defensive effort. Vic Fangio, everything that the Eagles did to hold Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs offense in check. Milton Williams on the top with the forced fumble, as well as the recovery on Patrick Mahomes. On the Chiefs side, Drew Tranquil, great day, 11 tackles. They had the sack. Nick Bolton had 2 tackles for loss with his 9 tackles. Jamari Connor had 2 tackles for loss. You had George Karlaftis with his sack as well. So not bad there for the Chiefs defense, who really held the offensive rush attack for the Eagles in check. That clearly was the game plan, and they were able to get that done. But on the Eagles side is where everybody shined. I mean, it was just incredible, the effort on the defensive line. They didn't have to blitz for a majority of this game. For basically the first 3 quarters, they did not have to support their defensive line with a blitzing effort. That is just incredible. But let's look at these stats. Zach Bond, 7 tackles, 3 solo. Josh Sweat, 2.5 sacks. Just an incredible day for him. Milton Williams, we talked about his forced fumble, but he also contributed 2 sacks. Just an incredible day. Cooper DeJean, 3 tackles along with his pick 6. Jordan Davis had a sack. Jalix Hunt had a half a sack. Overall, they had 6 sacks on the day and were so effective on everything that the Chiefs tried to do in the rushing attack. Patrick Mahomes was not able to make his typical magic. So much credit to the Eagles defense in this Super Bowl 59 victory. And on special teams, not much going on for Kansas City in this game, but for Philadelphia, I would say Cooper DeJean handled himself well in the punt return effort. He actually had one where one of his teammates ran into him, but he handled it with no problem. Then he had the pick six. He just had a great day on his birthday, no less. Him and Saquon Barkley, both birthday boys today, having a good evening, I am sure. And then Jake Elliott, who I talked about in my game preview. And again, I was so wrong with all of my predictions. I could not have been more wrong. But Jake Elliott, fantastic, even hit a 50-yard field goal, which he had struggled with all year long, but he was 4 for 4, perfect on the day, contributed to the Eagles' win here in Super Bowl 59, 40-22. The Eagles dominate Super Bowl 59, 40-22, and deny the three-peat to the Kansas City Chiefs. What an amazing football game to watch, in a sense where I was just completely wrong with everything that I would have predicted in this matchup. I mean, a lot of the things that held true from the NFC Championship game for the Eagles, as far as their offensive explosiveness, Jalen Hurts continued his stellar play, and that obviously continued with an MVP performance here in Super Bowl 59, but you just didn't get anything magical from the Chiefs whatsoever, and you have to give all the credit in the world to this Eagles defense. The front four, the defensive line, defense wins championships, just held the day here in Super Bowl 59. What a great game to watch. Hopefully next year my Lions will be in a similar situation, but certainly the Eagles have sort of paved the way and showed the mold now on how to get it done here and win the Super Bowl. I appreciate you guys returning for another video. If you dig the vibe here at Johnny Gas Sports, make sure to hit that like button. It's the best free way to help out the channel. I'd also love it if you consider subscribing. We're on the way to 3,000 now, thanks to you guys. And if you hit the notify bell, you won't miss any future videos. And more than anything else, make sure to take care of yourself. And that mental health, it's so important. I want to make sure you come back and see me on future videos. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl. Have a great week ahead. Go Lions!